All right, let's talk now a little bit about our main topic today, Bill. We're talking about problem solving. I don't know that necessarily people think about mortgage lenders as problem solvers necessarily just on the surface, but when you dig into what you do every day with clients, that really is a big part of it, right? Solving the problems that both they have, but also the problems that could come along the way that could make a deal go wrong.
Ben, we think this is a very overlooked part of the process, and we pride ourselves on problem solving. So problem solving starts with us right up front. And we want to make sure that what we're doing is we are addressing any items that could cause your loan to A, maybe not go to settlement. That's a big problem. B, what if we could get you to settlement, but because we didn't look at something, now your interest rate is higher, or you have to pay more in fees. And sometimes you don't close at all because the loan is just not closable. It doesn't meet the guidelines. We settle 10 days late. You could lose your deposit. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that could cause a lot of pain. So what we like to do is we're going to start right up front, asking a lot of questions, digging deeper. Our process of discovery and questionnaire is a lot longer than most other lenders because we're going to dive deep and uncover all issues right from the start.
What are an example to a couple of the questions that might pop up there that somebody might not expect to be on a questionnaire like this?
A couple of the things that we're going to ask from a very basic level is, what's your financial plan? And this one isn't one that causes catastrophic damage from you might not close or you might settle late, but it might cause damage in understanding what your financial goals are. So do you want a 30-year fixed or a 15-year? I can't tell you how many people feel like a 15-year, if you can get into a 15-year and afford it, that you've accomplished some lifelong goal. But if that doesn't match your financial goals, meaning why am I putting more money into the mortgage when I feel confident that I can make a higher percentage in the market? Take the difference between the 15 and the 30-year, put that money in the market, and that money will probably grow quicker than the interest that you'd save on the 15-year. On a more catastrophic level, it's basically looking at all the details, and to dig into one in particular would be income. So looking at the income. So in the beginning of the process, we're going to pull a verification of employment. We're going to spend money right up front looking at tax verifications, verifications of employment, running all the audits. We want to make sure that sometimes people's debt to income ratio, in order to qualify, is very close to the limit. We take that very seriously. We want to make sure that we're super accurate on the income calculation, so you're not going to have an issue where you don't qualify for debt ratio purposes.
What are some of the big concerns that people have when they first come in about, things that could go wrong, or just the fears they have in the mortgage process? Because it can be overwhelming for people that don't go through it a lot or doing it for the first time. So what are some of the things that are top of mind for them when they come in?
So, Ben, this is the most interesting part, is that because they don't do this often, they don't know what they don't know. And their concerns are driven by outside sources and advertisements, and, some of their biggest concerns are things that really aren't that important unless they know somebody who's had a really bad experience or they've had one themselves. So really what we need to do is try to educate them on the importance of, you're probably going to spend a little bit more time with our team to dot the I's and cross the T's so that we have a high quality, airtight pre-approval that ensures you're not going to have major issues down the road.
We're talking about the problem solving that goes on when you work with Bill, Cross Country Mortgage, and go through that mortgage lending process, and some of the things that could pop up and some of the challenges that could come along. And I'm curious, what are maybe some of the common things that will come up that, we talk about making a deal go wrong or potentially blowing up a potential purchase. What are the most common things that come up along the way that actually cause this to happen?
Yeah, so as mentioned, I would say that the debt to income ratio issue with not verifying the income correctly is right at the top of the list. In addition, not reviewing the credit report appropriately, and then maybe not running the whole loan through the desktop underwriter system, because that system is going to look at everything and tell us if we're approved or not. A lot of loan officers don't take the time to do it, and they just kind of eyeball the file and hope that it works. But we can't help somebody with the biggest, largest purchase of their life based on hope. We need to have solid answers and verified, high quality solutions that they can absolutely count on. The other thing would be funds to close. So looking at the funds to close, looking at the bank statements, making sure all the monies that they're going to put into the purchase are coming from allowable, verifiable sources so that we can use all the money. A lot of people don't understand you can't use cash. You can't use money that's not verifiable. That could cause a big problem if a bulk of your money is coming from a source and we can't use it.
If you have questions for Bill as we go through this, 484-352-4151. Is that the biggest thing at the closing table? I know, like, the further you get along, if you get to the very end of the process, things can still go wrong, right? You can still arrive to closing and some things still kind of fall through. Or is funds to close the biggest thing, or is there anything else that can typically pop up at this point?
So there's certainly a lot of different things that could pop up that could cause that. I think the debt ratio, the credit report being looked at appropriately, the funds to close, those three are the big ones. I want to make sure that we highlight those. But there are others, and so one of them is that we do a verification of employment right before settlement. Well, if somebody's quit their job, that could be a major issue. And for us, we do enough educating and we provide enough information and we dig deep enough that, knock on wood, we have never had a loan fall apart at the table. And it is something that happens quite commonly, and we pride ourselves on making sure that never, ever happens.
Yeah, it is something to be very proud of, for sure. And a lot of that's due to the communication that you pride yourself in, right, building those relationships. And I guess that's kind of part of it too, right, is, as you're solving these problems, you're also communicating these things to whoever you're working with, right, kind of identifying them with them, working through them, helping find solutions along the way, but more importantly, just keeping them updated throughout the process, because it's easy to worry about, well, Bill did mention that some things could pop up. I haven't heard from him in a while. Am I in trouble? Like, that's not something to fear working with cross country, right? Because you keep everybody in the loop.
Ben, that's a really, really great point, and I'm glad you highlighted it because, constant communication is really important. And we don't want our clients sitting on the other end wondering if they're going to get the loan. So we tell them right up front, we've done all the verifications. We've looked at everything. We're 100% sure that you're going to get the loan. Now, the truth of the matter is it's not exactly fun getting a mortgage. So it can be a little bit annoying at times, and our process is designed to pull as much of that out of the process as possible. But what we want to do is communicate that this is expect this to happen. Set the proper expectations so they know upfront already this is how the process is going to go, and this is all normal, so that you're not over there having a nervous breakdown, wondering if this is all going to work. You're confident because we've, educated and communicated and continue to communicate the whole way through.
Well, as we kind of close out this main topic today on the show, a couple things to remember. Again, if you want to connect with Bill, you can do so online, smartmortgageshow.com. You can also connect with him via the phone, 484-352-4151. But again, take advantage of that opportunity to set up a free 15-minute mortgage loan consultation, kind of go through the beginning steps, talk through some of these things that could be potential issues. Bill will get a better picture of kind of where you stand, and then you can talk about options moving forward from there. If you want to hop on, you can also get the application process started. If you're just, you're ready to go, you're going to be buying a home soon and want to get it started, you can hit the Get Started button on the website, begin that. But also, as we talked about, Cross Country takes a very consultative approach to things. So if that's more your speed, of course, that fits very well with what Bill and his team will do. But again, problem solving is a big part of it, Bill, and there are going to be things that pop up, and you want somebody on your team, on your side, that can help work with these proactively, right? That's the most important, is being proactive during this process.
Be proactive. Work with a team that has pretty much seen it all before, so they know what questions to ask and what to look out for to smooth out that process and, guarantee you a predictable outcome.
Very good. You can also connect with Bill via Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever your preferred social media is. You'll find Bill there as well. But again, you can always call 484-352-4151.